What film made you notice an actor was better / had more range than you originally thought? Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday in Tombstone. Very different than in Top Secret and Real Genius. Doc. Dying of tuberculosis and still getting into gunfights with cowboy gangs. Why you doing this, Doc? Wyatt Earp is my friend. Hell. I got lots of friends. I don't. Oh. Forgive me. Johnny. I forgot you were there. You may go. John Goodman in 10 Cloverfield Lane. I always thought of him as a big teddy bear. But he was terrifying in 10CL. Not only that. He also can have a lot of range even within the same role. He wasn't creepy and dictatorial 100% of the time in 10CL. Sometimes he also seemed welcoming and shy. Same thing in The Gambler. In the scene where he sits down and talks to Mark Wahlberg. He starts off giving fatherly advice and seems pretty likable. Then turns into a scary mob boss. I liked John Goodman as a villain in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Until I saw that. He had always just been the dad from Roseanne and I didn't realize that he could play such a bad guy. John C. Reilly. Chicago. He was really good in The Sisters Brothers too. I think he's a great actor that had more luck in comedy, maybe due to not having leading man looks. For me it was Jeff Daniels. I saw him in The Martian 2015. And I didn't know who this intimidating, scary man was. I assumed if the film had a villain, he'd be it. But then I realize I had also seen him in Dumb and Dumber 1994. He was that guy? Well, he sure does have some range. I recommend The Newsroom if you haven't seen it. Side note. I enjoyed it. But some people may find it a bit political. The Lighthouse. I have to be honest, I never knew Robert Pattinson from anything other than Twilight before watching this. He's an exceptional actor. It was actually Remember Me that caught my attention with him. It's not like an amazing film, but it made me see beyond Twilight. Him and Pierce Brosnan in that conference room was amazing. Movie crushes me every time. Clive Owen in Children of Men. This movie blew me away, and that doesn't happen often. He was great and the cinematic effects were incredible. No movie in particular, but Gary Oldman. After I realized he was in so many movies that I enjoy. Range for days. I was once arguing with a friend that Gary Oldman is a superior actor to Leo DiCaprio. With my reasoning that Oldman has superior range and can disappear into roles in a way that Leo can't. We were watching Hannibal during this conversation. And he was disagreeing with me until I pointed out that Gary Oldman was on the screen as we were speaking and he had no idea. The twist when Gary Oldman was actually in the room watching you guys have this conversation. Bryan Cranston moving from Malcolm in the Middle to Breaking Bad. Similarly. Bob Odenkirk. I am rewatching Malcolm in the Middle at the moment and he's doing such a great job in this one. But a good comedy performance never gets you the praise more serious roles will get you. He is such a versatile actor. Hal is one of the best TV dads of all time. There's a scene in Forrest Gump where Forrest is trying to ask Jenny if Forrest Jr. is slow. The emotions on Tom Hanks' shame just blew me away. Tom Hanks is exceptional. He seems to nail every role and somehow make you feel what his character is feeling. The man made me cry about a blood-stained volleyball drifting away, for God's sake. To that point, Castaway really is a masterpiece. So much of that movie has no dialogue and he still manages to capture the S almost like you are right there with him going through the speep. And at the end, it's as much your heartbreak and victory as it is his. California, Brad Pitt. Monster, Charlize Theron. I recently watched Monster for the first time and I was blown away. Not because, wow, they made Charlize Theron ugly, but because of how she gave everything to the role. Throughout the movie, she would go from likable to toxic to crazy to sympathetic in the span of about 3 seconds. Her acting was just so insanely good. She was so realistic. That movie resonated down to my soul. Christina Ricci's performance was good too, responding to Theron's rapidly shifting moods. But truly, it was her monologues that were outstanding. This was a true story, and like they say, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Monster documents the severe emotional damage that sexual abuse victims suffer. I was absolutely blown away by Rosamund Pike in Gone Girl. I genuinely thought she didn't have it in her to be Amy. I was very wrong. Oh man, same. Also, I was not sure how I felt about Ben Affleck playing Nick. Did not think he could pull off that character, but I loved it. Colin Farrell in Bruges. I honest had no idea he could really act until I saw that movie. And since then he's quite a few extremely good performances. His eyebrows deserved an Academy Award for In Bruges. Use a herd o' fucking elephants. Steve Carell in Foxcatcher. Also in The Big Short. Also The Morning Show. It's a total 180 from Michael Scott. He plays the role really well. It's not that you sympathize with his character, but you almost see where he's coming from in a way. And why he did the things he did. It's hard to put into words, really. I would say Jonah Hill in Moneyball. He did an outstanding job and really showed he wasn't just a stoner comedy actor. Then he did Wolf of Wall Street, and I had to give in that he is one of my favorite actors now. He kills it in War Dogs 2. Hey. Where you guys going? I thought we were gonna hang out. Hey. Jim Carrey in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It was the first time I saw him in a role where he isn't, well, Jim Carreying. I was impressed by how subtle and nuanced his performance was. The Truman Show is the movie that impressed me. Jim Carrey was awesome in that. I still say, good morning. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening and good night to people from time to time. Robin Williams in 1 Hour Photo. How about Robin Williams in Insomnia, the early Christopher Nolan movie? Creepy. Scary Williams is the best Williams. Brad Pitt, 12 Monkeys. Val Kilmer, Tombstone. I don't generally care for Reese Witherspoon, and I'm a big fan of Joaquin Phoenix, but she acted circles around him in Walk the Line. She was great in Election. Pleasantville too. Will Ferrell in Stranger Than Fiction. Didn't expect to see him nail a serious role. He is also very out of character in Everything Must Go. That one was unexpected for me in a good way. A friend suggested it to me when it was in theaters as the new Will Ferrell movie. My friend was into indie movies. I wasn't. But he always had good suggestions, so I went in not knowing anything. I really enjoyed seeing him in a non-comedy role. I was really impressed with Daniel Radcliffe in Swiss Army Man. Yes. He conveys so much without saying anything. He's got great comedic chops too. His cameo on the series Extras is hilarious. Forgetting Sarah Marshall showed me that Mila Kunis could do more than be a teenage airhead from the 70s. She was pitch perfect in Black Swan. She did really great in that movie alongside of Natalie Portman. Robin Williams in Good Will Hunting and Awakenings. Robin Williams was great in Dead Poets Society and Good Morning Vietnam. 2. Our idiot brother, Paul Rudd. He has such a powerful scene at the end. Love him since seeing that. Paul Rudd is popular for his comedy roles in Marvel, but this dude can beeping act for real. His scene in Our Idiot Brother is really great. It really sticks with you. Helena Bonham Carter in The King's Speech. I've watched that movie many times over. And still think she was fantastic. Matthew McConaughey in Dallas Buyers Club. Undefined. Edit 2. Fbeeb. Forgot about Amistad 2. I didn't see that one until my senior SEM class in undergrad. I actually think I saw that in DBC around the same time. True Detective S1. I was thinking of Woody Harrelson in this thread because of that show. Not a film. But Schitt's Creek. Eugene Levy. He's always seemed like an intelligent, funny, and likable man. He's always seemed like a pretty great guy. As Johnny Rose he was just incredibly wholesome. When his feelings were hurt or he played angry or indignant, with minimal physical activity, viewers were suddenly gutted. His eyes are like pools of emotions. Dude is truly something. I'm so impressed by the amount of character injected into these people by their actors. When I first started, I dismissed Annie Murphy as Alexis as just a pretty face. But watching her is like watching the acting Olympics. The bike scene where she has to act as a character who is mortified but has to act like she's so excited, and when you throw in her reactions to David's antagonizing while maintaining those other layers. Just very, very solid. It's small. But you should watch it and watch how her and David use their hands when they talk. Then pay attention to the waitress, I forget her name. But it's his actual sister and she will use her hands in a lot of the same fashion. It's kind of funny.